Hi, I'm Luke Garrard,
I'm Cameron Moyer.
and welcome to our National League 11. So, we're going to agree on a shape.
Yeah, I think we've over the last few years we've sort of found our formation. I don't think we can look past the 3-5-2.
Yeah, gives us probably the best opportunity. I've got to be honest, going through the personnel we've had over the last 5 years in the National League, I'd say offensively we've been strong. And if we was to go to our 4-2-3-1, 4-5-1, you limit that front zone. So, cool. So we're 3-5-2.
Start of the goalies. I'll start with it. I think obviously we started off when we first got international with James Russell. Who done phenomenal. Again, obviously done the first part of the season. Obviously we sort of changed how we trained and what we've done schedule wise. So we obviously come out of it, and I think James has got a big shout because the next goalkeeper recruited, we sort of based around what he was about anyway. But that sort of said how good he was and what qualities he brings to how we sort of wanted to play.
So you're saying Rusty, as of obviously the three that come to mind for me are Rusty, Grant Smith, and Ashmore. I look at, we've had Legg, we've had Edwards, we've had
Huddart,
Ryan Huddart, David Gregory. I think for me, the standout three are James Russell, Grant Smith, and Nathan Ashmore. I think I played with Rusty, and having him behind me was good. Great left foot, technically superb. Obviously lacked slight height, 5'11", 6 foot at a push, agile. I think he warrants getting in the top three for me, for sure. What he achieved with us as a club in the National South was awesome. I think he made a great point with regards to Grant Smith. Our recruitment was along the lines of James Russell and being a little bit more agile. I had the sidewinder, didn't he? The pair of them, to be fair, they both occupied that left foot. Grant Smith.
I think when we go further forward and look at the defence, I think you'll see why we sort of had Rusty and why we had Grant, because we always have big, strong centre halves who can head the ball away, where maybe that's where the goalkeepers are slightly weaker are coming out and claiming crosses. We had big centre halves who could head the ball away, and their strength was more shot stopping. Grant, Rusty, shot stopping wise, you wouldn't have got better in the South than Rusty. And then going into the National, we recruited again on Grant, who was a replica of what Rusty was about. So
we was heavy on anything coming in the box, stay in your goal, save it.
Yeah.
Let the centre halves head it. I think Grant Smith was. I remember it so clearly. Besant coming in, and it was the pre-season, and they were fighting off for that number one spot. And I thought, we like to play. We have a manner of try and play out from the back. I think Rusty and Smith are advocates of that. I think they're massive in terms of playing with their feet. Grant was a great signing. I felt that across the board, no matter who you are as a manager, when you sign a goalkeeper, you sign them knowing they're going to get you 12, 15 points a season. I think Grant Smith, for me, pips Rusty on that. I think there was game-changing moments from Grant Smith. Some big saves that got us the points on our Wembley year and got us the wins that, for me, I don't think Rusty had that much of an impact in the National League. And that's not discrediting Rusty in any way, shape or form. I just feel Grant Smith was, probably a slight improvement in terms of James Russell.
What I think is my big moments when I think of Grant, I think of the Sutton save. You're not getting any bigger. That goes in our. We might go to Wembley. I think we spoke before about big players doing big things at big moments, and I think he'd always come up trumps at the big moments. Like I said, he'd get us on the counter. His show reel for sidewinders are second to none, and he sort of emphasised what he was about at the time. And again, now coming back into the picture again, he shows how far we've come. Signing the goalkeeper from lower leagues always a gamble, but I think it paid off with him. It definitely paid off with him. So I think I'd agree on the fact that he probably Pip's rusty at the moment. Moving forward onto between him and Nath. I think
so we could go to toe on this one. In terms of, I don't know where your stance is with Grant Smith and Nathan. Ashmore, having the luxury of working with someone day to day, you as a manager, as a first team coach, you get to see what players twice, 3 times max a year, playing them at home, playing them away, and you might get them in the trophy or FA Cup. And I look at Nathan and I thought, question marks on his size, on his agility, on his mobility, temperament. There was a lot of factors that you'd go, do you, don't you? Having him in the building, I have to say, he's my number one. He's my number one. Reason being is I look at him and go, as a stature, as a man, everything he brings to the table. And it is it because he's in there now? He's here. Is it because I'm seeing him for the last 6 months? Ashmore's been front of my mind. Possibly, but I look at it and go, the upward curve we've had since Ash has come in the building speaks for itself. And I've got to be honest, there's probably people in the management team that was probably questioning it, thinking, look at him, quite rightly, in terms of seeing his stature, the size of the man, the way he carries himself. But I've got to be honest, within 2-3 weeks, they were, couldn't speak highly enough of him. And
I'd say my concern with Ash coming was he'd have a tough time sort of in his last probably year as regards the goings on at Ebbsfleet at the time. If he coming and played a lot, but like you said, I think there isn't anybody, and we'll go through the whole list. There isn't anybody that's had the impact on our defensive record, and that's no disrespect to any goalkeepers that have played before him. No one's had that impact on the change in our defensive record and the upturn, like I said, in our fortunes as much as he's had. And I don't think that's just as much on the pitch, off the pitch. He comes in, he drives in 2.5 hours. He comes in the breakfast room, and so I'm talking as a whole package. I think as a player,
I've got to be honest. I'm looking at my team here. I'm looking at what I've written out as my team, and obviously that can change. I think character's a big thing.
Yeah.
And I think you've hit the nail on the head. What he brings off and on the field is going to be a plus in terms of this 11 plus the 5 subs. So for me, I hope you agree, we nail down Ashmore as our number one.
I'll go with Ash. I think so. He has been a breath of fresh air within it. When you look at our recruitment sort of last season in terms of characters, this season's so different. And again, you can see the chalk and cheese between us. We've got men this year who want to, they put the body in line and they want to come in. They want to be part of something. I think it's the camaraderie within the group, and I think he sort of emphasises that. I think the boys have taken to him, and he's been massive for it on and off the pitch. So yeah, I'm happy with Ash. I did have Ash to be fair anyway.
So 3-5-2 back 3. I've got in my head 2, 4, 6. I've got 7 centre halves where I think they've had an impact. You could question a few of them more so than others, but you happy for me to reel them off?
Go on then, yeah.
And if you want to add or take away any of them, please do. I've got in my list Dowie, Wellesley, Joe De Vera, Champ, Turley, Dave Stevens, and Callum Reynolds.
I'd go along them lines. I feel from the early days you had Joe De Vera, who brought a real calmness to how he played. He was very calm. Again, he was another man. He was sort of unassuming in a way that he wouldn't come into your head, but he would go out, do his job, get on with it. A pleasure to talk to. Again, a good character to have around, and a real good player, a real good experienced player. He's played at a very, very good level. And for the situation that we was in as regards coming up, I thought he was spot on for what we needed.
I remember the signing really clearly. I remember it because we were playing Bromley the night of, and we had him in the building. I know Joe because he's a Barnet boy, and I remember we lost to Bromley, and we went from evenings to full time, which I think was a massive catalyst for us to stay in the National League moving forward. I think you hit the nail on the head. He is as calm as you like. I've got to be honest. Any calmer, he'd be in a coma. at one stage, I think him and Darren Ward had the best European defensive record at one stage with Swindon, wasn't it? So speaks volumes about what he is as a player. I think, did he have as much of an impact as the other six? I've put him in there because I feel that he is a very good centre half, and in this shape, in a 3-5-2, he could play outside centre half very well because he's comfortable as a fullback, as he did play a lot of his games as a right back. So I think he's in there because of that reason. Do I see, for me, I see potentially 6 bigger impacts than Joe De Vera. I think Reynolds had more of an impact than Joe De Vera. I think Reynolds was big for us in the National South. It's a harsh one for me because Rusty and Reynolds follow suit.
Yeah.
Because I played with Callum. I think Callum can go definitely into the league for sure. What he's doing at Barnet is fantastic. What he's done for Boreham Wood in the National South was outstanding. He was good. He was very good. But just I feel that first year, if he had continued with us and had a further 2-3 years with us, for me, he's nailed on. I think because again, he's comfortable in that central position. He can play either side. He's a skipper by his own right through with us and other clubs that he's played at in terms of Aldershot and Barnet. So I think he leapfrogs De Vera in my opinion. But then I look at that and go, I see 5 other impacts that are better than him.
I think about Callum is I think when we do a lot of analysis before say play Barnet, I think he's in quite a lot of conversations as regards opposition. So I think that speaks for highly as good as he is because he is in a lot of conversations regards how to stop teams playing, and what to do. So I think he's got a big shout, particularly for that central role for me. I think just because he can come out, he can play with it, he's comfortable. So I'll keep. So
okay, so we're holding Reynolds at the minute then. Reynolds is in a holding pen for the minute, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got my next one for me would be Dowie. I've got to be honest, Dowie was one of our big signings along with Luke Howe in the first season. What he achieved at Dagenham again with Lukey Howe was superb. Dowie, I know Dowie, played with him. Doesn't look easy on the eye, and he'll admit that himself, but reads the game superbly, defends superbly, got a great passing range. The thing that all I've got in my head at the minute, the one, not even one, but the goal at Sutton.
Yeah.
And the little, when he runs off. And he started with us in the National League and was potentially going to fulfill the dreams of everyone and take us out of the National League in terms of, you think, we lost Turley, we lost Wellesley, we lost Kane Smith, we lost Morgan Ferrier. Though he wasn't even 4th choice centre half, he's come in out the shadows, put in a performance like he did at Sutton, and then put in a performance like he did at Wembley. I think he's got a shout, you know. I think he's got a shout.
I agree. So I'm the same as you. I have luxury playing with him, and as a character, he's what you need in the squad. Like you said, he reads the game so well. He's always on the cover. You always know when you play against him. You know he's going to. You want to try and bring him out of his slot because you know he's going to be on the cover. I think that's the big thing about him. I'm going to be honest. He doesn't get in mine. Doesn't get in mine.
Why?
I feel the personnel we've got. I feel there's other centre halves as regard. We haven't even touched on the champs. We haven't touched on the Wellesleys, the Turleys, the Steve-O's. So I feel they're my.
All right, here we go. Who's going in then? Who's going in?
Right side centre half for me. He's been here, I think 3-4 years now. He's Tom Champion. He's made that position his own from a centre midfielder to come in and play as a right side centre half. Probably extend his career as regards playing that role. He does it comfortably. He leads. He dominates the back line. He steps in and defends on the front foot like nobody else. The amount of balls he regains going in front of people, he gets you going on the front foot, particularly with the pace that we tend to have up top. He can intercept and get us going on counter attack. So I don't think there's anyone better out of 7 who's named than Tom Champ to go in at right side centre half.
I have to admit, I've got to be honest. We signed him as a centre midfielder. And obviously we had Ricketts in the building and Murtagh in the building. And we changed, didn't we? In his first year, we changed that back three.
Yeah.
Played it at Wingate, and I remember it very clearly. And he went in at right side centre half, and he ain't looked back since. I have to agree with you. For me, this is his, what is it now? Third season with us, sorry. And again, when you said about Ashmore coming in the building and he lights the world up.
Yeah.
I've got to be honest, Champ's one of the funniest kids I know. And he is. Yeah, listen, I agree. Champ right side centre half.
Can we call him a less sweaty Lee Evans in regards to how funny?
A less sweaty Lee Evans. I think that's a great analogy, mate. I've got to be honest. He's he's tops champ. I have to say that. I think he makes for me he makes our all-time National League 11 right side centre half. I'm content with that.
He's not afraid to tell people if things aren't right as well. So he steps in. He's got that about him. So he's got it in the right way. Definitely.
It's fair. I have to say he's fair because he does give a lot of plaudits as well as a little bit of a bollocking at times. So he is fair with it. And I've got to be honest, for us as 34, 34, to have an extension of your management team in the likes of a Champ and a Nathan Ashmore, it does help. So no, spot on with that one. I think Dave Stevens. I think Dave Stevens central. I look at Steve-O and he's been with us from the whole time. Yeah, he come in October, November in that first year, but I can't look past Dave Stevens through that central position.
I think if you're an opposition manager and you see Dave in the middle row as a free, it changed the way you try and play. So I think it had that impact because you're not putting balls in the box with him because he eats them up and has that. But he can also play and he's also quick. He's got every string to his bow. His out balls second to none. I've
got to be honest, and he does it effortlessly, doesn't he? What about every time he comes out in training, grabs 40 balls out of the bag, and shells them into the corner? Yeah, he's a session record when it comes to that. But again, I think has he played the games he wanted to play this year? Probably not. And he knows that, and he's not getting any younger. But for the 5 years service he's given this football club, I'm going to have to say Dave Stevens central.
Yeah, I put Callum's name in it. I thought he was excellent for the football club, but the service Dave's done and what Dave achieved with the football club, I don't think we can realistically look past him. So if I'm
folded like you had a 7-2, Giz.
Pardon?
You folded like you had a 7-2.
Yeah. No, I'm going what Dave's got. Like if I'm putting Callum and Dave up together, I'm going Dave Stevens on the basis that he's got everything. He has got everything you need as a centre half. And again, as a person, he's a good person to have around. He's a very, very nice guy. Very honest.
Cheerleader when it comes to as well. Yeah, you can see if he gets dropped out of 11, he doesn't hold a grudge. He's all about the greater good. So I just think Dave Stevens. He went to Wembley, and I think I keep that in my head a lot. I think he kept us up in the first year, achieved what we achieved in the second year, and then that third year at Wembley, I think he played a massive part in. So for me, them two are nailed on.
Can I say, if we're going to go Dave, that pushes the left side centre half going into one direction. You know what?
I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say. You're going to say Turley. Because they're like the two doormen that turn up in the big Range Rover, get out, shove you up against the wall, get their money, get back in the range. Yeah, no, listen, I know. For me, Reynolds was good, and he is good. De Vera was good, and he is good. Doey's good. I can't look past Steve-O, Champ, Wellesley and Turley. And I'll have a tear up with you now, Wellesley and Turley. And you're going to give me an argument for Turley, and I'm going to give you an argument for Wellesley. And I don't think we're going to be wrong on either.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Wellesley, again, you know, when you hear things. When he was at Hampton with Dev, then he goes Braintree with Dev, then he goes Stevenage, and you look at him and you know what I like? I like people, when I sign people, every time I play against someone or manage against someone, I hate him. I hate him. I'd love him in my team. When Wellesley come in, he was everything that I didn't think he was. He's tattooed. He's got a full body tattoo up to his neck. He's the politest guy going, an unbelievable father, and an absolute talent. And then I'm going to say Turley. He is built like a door frame, honestly. And on a pitch, I've seen him and he growls at people and he picks them up and he goes, I'm going to do it again. Family man. Absolute legend when it comes to off the park. I've got to be honest, this is tough, this one.
I think of Turley and I think of Fylde in the quarter-final.
Yeah, you're in 3 places, carried on. Bit of banter, isn't it?
Look, when you're at the end, you can't even talking. And he's if he could, he'd have been out on the Wembley pitch. It would have been anything for him to get out there because he's that.
I think, you know what it is I got... With Wellesley started the season. If he finished the season, I'm not being funny, I ain't arguing with you. I'm saying Wellesley all day long. The fact that Wellesley does his ACL, gives Turley an opportunity, it's tough, you know.
I just think Turley if you look at the team, Turley's going to bring the best out of Steve-O, and Turley can do a passing draw.
So we're not, so okay, so theoretically, we're picking an 11 that all, like, work off each other as opposed to the 11 best players. So when you pick a world 11, you're not going to pick the world best 11, you're going to pick combinations. Yeah, so we're clear, because your point on Turley and Steve-O is spot on. Steve-O grew to 8 foot tall, let alone 6'5" when he played with Turley, and it was like the two brothers, Phil and Graham. I love you, mum. When it was proper like Turley. I'm happy with Turley. We'll go with Turley. I'm gonna have to scrub mine out. Look, I got him there. I'm gonna have to scrub it out.
Remember, away at Bromley, I think we were 2-0 up, and then they made a change. It changed the game, and a couple of boys were come over to the dugout, and there was a bit of a conversation. Turley was on the bench.
Weren't having none of it. Yeah, and he come in half, don't put it on people. And I got to be honest, and people listened. Why? Because he weren't a bully. Turles weren't a bully. He was aggressive. He was a born leader, born winner. Yeah. Now I'm happy with that. Champ Steve-O Turley is a good back three.
That is what that is.
Right, we have now wing backs.
Start on the right.
I'm gonna offer up, because Danny Woodard's played left and right. I'm gonna offer up Shakesy played left and right. I'm gonna offer up Sorba Thomas, Femi, Ben Nunn, and Kane Smith.
Yeah. Going to Nunny, obviously Nunny sort of extension of the Callum Reynolds, the James Russell, them three really remind me of the promotion winning side. Was played in the year after, and Nunny was excellent. Obviously played in more of a 4 in Nunny's time. But again, he could get up and down the pitch, had lovely quality. And again, when we talk about characters and what they bring off the pitch, there ain't a funnier, nicer, charismatic guy than Ben Nunn for me.
But then, okay, no disrespect. I've got to be honest. I love Nunny. I think he's the nuts. Right wing back Cams. There's one man for the spot, and it sounds so horrible. And I'm going to eradicate 2 or 3 people. Nunny was awesome. Nunny was a very, very good lad. A good fullback. Modern day. But it's smudger. Kane Smith for me.
Yeah, I was trying to.
I know what you're doing. You're trying to pad it out. I get what you're doing. You're trying to pad it out. You're trying to get a little bit more, But
I want a first round knockout.
I just got to go. Look, I can't. We can all beat around the bush and go Ben Nunn. I think they're very similar, Nunny and Kane Smith. I think they're very, very similar. I think Kane Smith probably crosses the ball a little bit better than Ben Nunn. Has a little bit more of an offensive part of his game than Ben Nunn. Ben Nunn was probably a slightly better defender than him. But in the shape we're playing, I want to be the 3-5-2. I don't want to be the 5-3-2. I want to be with our width going up. I think Kane Smith, and to be fair, give the kid an accolade now. You've done your ACL. I've done my ACL, and I was as quick as lightning. I lost all my pace, and no pace. To come back at the level he's come back at in the National League and to perform consistently like he has this year now, off the back of being out 8-9 months, speaks volumes about the kid. He got his England call-up. Unfortunately, with COVID-19 and all the stuff that's going on, that's been pulled. But yeah, I've got to say he's and he's non-league. He's non-league. He come from Hitchin. He finishes the game, has 54 pints with Brett Donnelly, has a pack of crisps, goes home, has a Burger King and Mackie D's, and goes and plays on a Tuesday night. So he is, I love Kano. I absolutely adore Kane. And we just got good people in that group at the minute.
Yeah. I remember his first session over at Olive Beefman's when we trained over there. He was him and Sorba done look 1-1. He had Sorba up.
Proper had him up. Wet behind the ears, Sorbs, wasn't he? Wet behind the ears.
And then he obviously... Go
on. For me, he's nailed on, mate. For me, he's nailed on. He went down to Barnstable, as you said, with regards to just turning up 3 days into our pre-season. Listen, we can't speak any highly enough of him. What he's done and what he's achieved in the 3 years he's been with us is fantastic. So for me, he's nailed on. Then it leaves, because Nani, for me, obviously, was the only position was the right wing back. Femi, Sorba, Woody, and Shakesy.
Four players that, for me, they're all different what they offer. You've got Woody, who offers that defensive nous, senses danger, will give away from home is a perfect to shore in. Then you've got Sorba, who gets you on the front foot. I think, again, like I said, the difference between this year and last year, wing back wise, is we've got Kane, we've got Sorba, who get us playing on the front foot. So I think he's that entity where he'll go on. Then you've got Shakesy, Mr. Reliable. He'll give you everything. You know exactly when he goes out the pitch what you're going to get from him. You're going to get wholeheartedness. He's going to go and win his 1-for-1 battle, and he's going to have that little go about him. And then you go to...
Listen, them two have done fantastic for us. And we got Woody, at the age of 31, 32? Never had the luxury of working with him in his prime. He's played left wing back, right wing back, as does Shakesy. Shakesy's played central in midfield as well. I look at Femi. I think Femi's hard. I think it's harsh on Fem. I think, for me, I'm going to lay the gauntlet down. Sorba Thomas goes in for me. Reason being is, if we're going to play the 3-5-2, I need ball players. I need people that can carry the ball out of the park. Femi should be coming in and going, well, hang about. If he had played a full season like he did in the 16 games at left side centre half, player of the season when his first year, I believe it was. I've got to say, he's in for a shout for that left-hand spot over Turles and Wellesley. But the fact of the matter is, as it stands at the minute, he's only played 14, 15 games there, and he's done fantastic. Don't get me wrong, he's been outstanding. I just think out of them four, and it's probably the Ashmore thing again, mate. It's Sorba's in my head, and I'm looking at him with fresh eyes that he's there, and I just feel that with him and Kane Smith, they've been the catalyst for our season this year. I think they played a massive part, and I don't know if you're going to tell me any different. I just feel that Sorba, with his quality, with his pace, with his guile, I think defensively he's got better. He's got so much better. He's identifying danger a lot more. I just think,
I had Femi. I'll be honest with you, I had Femi in my team. I thought he can defend, he can go forward. Not the same level as Sorba going forward wise, but you know what you're going to get from his defender. He's not going to get beat. But I do understand if it's a back four, as a left back, he's nailed in. As a
wing, getting a motor to get past him, didn't you? 1v1 Femi's outstanding. When you got an opposition player being told by our bench to run him, it speaks volumes about what he's like in terms of defending. I just feel that the wing back, it's a specialised position. You played right back, and when you played wing back, it was slightly different. It was a total different. I know it's probably more suited to offensive players because naturally you're going past the halfway line. You got the insurance of the outside centre half behind us. So for me, I just can't see past Sorba, mate.
Yeah, I'm gonna reluctantly, I'm gonna go with you on it. Not reluctantly, because Sorbs he's had a fantastic year. He's probably earned his slot within it. But I like the fact that he'll probably get us on the front foot a little bit more. I'll go with that.
Right. So we've got currently Ashmore in goal, Champ, Steve-O, and Turley as our back three. Kane Smith right wing back, and Sorba left wing back. So ain't bad at all. Midfield. I'm gonna say to you now. Who goes in? Who's your number one? I've got to be honest. Who's your number one?
Straight away, Angelo Balanta.
Yeah,
without question of a doubt.
It's a no-brainer for me. What he can do with a football looks laboured, doesn't it? At times, people would question fitness, but I think that's the manner in which he played and carries himself. He's very laid back. You see that when he's off the field. Top bloke, lovely fella. Two beautiful kids and a lovely missus. He holds himself superbly on and off the pitch. I just got the memory now of Notts County when we countered. He won the first header, won the second header, and we've countered, and he's the last one to touch the ball, and he pulls it wide. And you think, especially what quality he has when you go to Tranmere and he does the teapot volley into the top of the bin, you just think them sort of 5-yard pullbacks are bread and butter for him. But listen, I can't argue with that at all, mate. I think he's phenomenal.
He's given us so many memories. You look at the free kick away at Maidstone, the goal at Ebbsfleet. When you think about Angelo, you think of so many goals and so many quality bits, and then you also think about goals away at Sutton, aerially, going to put the goalkeeper and the ball in the goal. His defensive headers. He obviously an all-round part to his game, and probably as in that role as a midfielder, there's not many that can do what he can do in this league and the league above, I'd say.
Yeah, no, I think you're spot on there, mate. He's ever so good. I've got in that list as well. I've got Connor Clifford, Mark Ricketts, Kenny Davis, Kieran Murtagh, and Shebu. Only reason why Shebu, he's had 2 years with us now. He's played up top and he played on the point. You could have added Jay Reason, Luke Howe, Billy Clifford. I just feel that Jay Reason come late. Billy Clifford had a bit part with us, even though you could write a coaching manual on the kid. He's outstanding ability. Howley played a massive part. The goal at Welling, I think it was 2 or 3-0 with a little bump around the corner and wrapped it in the top corner. So, yeah, listen, I think them three are in the wings. I just feel that Kenny Davis is a bright footballer, intelligent individual. I remember what the remit was. It was all about going to get skippers and captains of the opposition. And Kenny Davis of Braintree, we took him and Matt Payne in the same year, and Mark Ricketts. And I felt that we went from a team that was a relegation fodder to mid-table, 11th in the league, which was a good achievement for a team second year into the National League. So I think he played a big part in our progression. Connor Clifford, I've got fond memories of Connor. Why? Because of the goal at Aldershot, the penalty that weren't a pen, the kid he saved it with his ribs. Big moments. I think big moments, big players need to come and pull something out their bum in big games. And I think that he's put the ball down and on late on in the game and just wrapped it into the back of the net. So
again, for me, he'd probably come more into the equation if he had a little bit more longevity.
Yeah.
It's easy with the longevity of the football club to become more of a legend and more of a in the memory.
Fair. That is fair. So theoretically, what you're telling me, Shebu's done brilliant this year. He's gone and made the 10 spot his own. He's a top fella.
I think he's still very much growing into it because he's
come last year with him.
A bit raw, but this year he's really come to the table. Obviously, the injury at the end didn't help him, but he's really come to the table and really, I think, found himself and found out what he's good at and how to sort of utilise that. So he'll be one that will only get better and better.
No, he's a talent for sure, and I think his goals and his assists have been paramount in our progression. So then, what you're telling me then? I know what you're going to say. Well, I put Turley with Steve-O because of combinations. We can't look no further than Mark Ricketts and Kieran Murtagh.
No, you got peas and carrots. They come together as one. They've been playing together for long enough now. And where there's Rico, there's Kieran. Where there's Fires, there's Rico. And where there's the Maverick, so to speak, there's Kieran. So you've got a bit of everything within there.
I think it's a nice blend, that midfield, and it's our Wembley midfield. It's the Ricketts, Murtagh, Ballant, and I've got to be honest, I fancied them three against anyone in the National League that year. And I have to say, I'm a massive fan of Rico, and everyone thinks Kieran Murtagh's my third son. So I can't disagree.
He's around there now, isn't he?
Oh, listen, he's just having bottle for a minute. You okay, babe? I just think, listen, he's a maverick. He'll do it regardless. He'll pull it out of the air after 86 minutes. We're winning 1-0 when I want to send it in an area. He'll do it on the first. He'll do it on the 85th. He doesn't change. But you look at what he offered up in the Solihull game, the Fylde game, where he's assisted, and it was big assists to get us big wins. So he is the maverick. I have to take that tag that you're using. I think he is a maverick. We've got 3 years with him. We've got a further year with him. So I can imagine him leaving us and retiring, because I think what we've achieved as a group with him has been positive. Likewise with Rico, I can see there's a future with Rico past his playing career. He is a top guy, a top guy. Lovely father, comes in, wears the best gear going, doesn't he? I've got to be honest.
$1 million, he does.
This All Saints mannequin walks in every morning for breakfast.
Literally, chisel like it.
Yeah, that midfield's superb. I'm so content.
That was for me the easy decision, the three there. I can't see beyond them three because I can't see beyond them as a National League three, let alone anything that's been offered up in the last 5 years. So I think that's settled.
So now we move
on. This is the mouth-watering bit.
Yeah, listen, this is if we had the opportunity of playing 2 at the back, 4 in midfield, and 4 up top.
No brainer. These
4 walk in. These absolutely walk in. You got Ferrier, you got Marsh, you got Bruno, and you got Cabs. And I've got to be honest, outstanding. What was it? 24, 25 goals, Bruno in the Wembley year. Yeah, Morgs obviously come back from Dagenham, had a massive part to play towards the end of it. Marshy's currently on 15, Cabs on 18. How do you differentiate between the 4? How do you do it? Because they all got different qualities.
Oh, that's the thing. They are different. Ty brings a work ethic, and a link that I don't think any others bring. I think if you play with Ty, you're always going to feed off him, and you're always going to get bits off him. Bruno's magic. He's going to produce your magic. He's going to get on the ball. He's going to hurt people. Cabs is, I've got that goal machine. Kid's a goal machine. He just sees a goal and wants to score every time he gets the ball.
What is he, 1 in 2, Cabs?
1.9 games every goal.
So and what's Marshy?
Marshy's 2.3. So he's a bit heavier.
Andrade must be close to Cabs' sort of mark.
Andrade's 2.5, but he's played a lot more games.
Yeah, because of the 2 years we played him as a wide boy. To be fair, he started on the bench at Fylde, didn't he? Brought him on late on. Last 10 minutes, he caused havoc. And to be fair, he plays that shape. For me, I have to say, Bruno Andrade goes in. For me, it's Bruno and one other. It's Bruno and one other. And I look at Bruno. Bruno's got great quality. He can pull something out of his bottom. He can carry the ball. The Grant Smith sidewinder to him to get us on the counter. The free kicks, the deliveries into the box. The willingness to work. Again, he is like your missus. He turns up to work. Yeah. If he's had a good night, he's fantastic. If he's had a poor night, he comes in whining. I leave my house to get away from my wife, not to go to work and work with my wife. So
he's an extension of the missus. That's what he is.
He is, mate. But I have to say, he is a top lad, lovely boy, and a great talent. So for me, it's Andrade and one other. And now
he brings a fear factor, so I'd agree with that. He brings a real fear factor player. He's someone you want to play against. He goes in the pockets, turns. Yeah. Centre half, you can't pick him up. So yeah, I'm with that one.
Ferrier, Marsh, and Cabs. For me, no disrespect, it's all well and good. Marshy's done fantastic, and if I had a daughter, I'd want Marshy to marry her because he's that good. I have to say he's one of my favourites. And
I'm not sure I like him. Having a daughter, I'm not sure I like him that much, but he's.
I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say he's my favourite, but I have to say he lightens the world up. He comes in, smiles, eyes, top.
Even when you called him the other day, he just liked the whole conversation, just lightened the day up.
He is outstanding. Ferrier, he's like Marmite, isn't he? You either love him or hate him. I'm on the love side. I've had him 2-3 times now, and I've got to be honest. He has the ability to play at the very top. He was the strongest. The pin, the roll, the little one around the side. What about the goal against Maidenhead? Coming on his right foot, and he drilled it about 4 minutes in, and he just nestled side netting. You can't buy that sort of quality. But as much as Ferrier's front play's good and Marshy's front, you've hit the nail on the head. Cabs is a goal machine.
Yeah.
He's a goal machine.
Gets promotion. Cabs gets promotions. He wins your titles just by scoring goals, and that's what's hard to come by. He's hungry to score goals.
How many analogies do I use with Marshy? Marshy does all the graft, doesn't he? He's covered in absolute crap. Cabs is all swanning around. Marshy's grafting for 85 minutes. Cabs taps it in for a winner on the 86th against Harrogate. But I've played with many strikers that know where the goal is. He's one of the best because his finishing, in general, other than Barrow, other than Torquay, isn't too bad. So
He finds
me-
himself in the right place, which is an
Yeah.
unbelievable habit to have.
For me, it's Cabs.
Yeah, I think if you have a pairing of Andrade and Cabs, you ain't going far wrong, because you've got someone who's going to put the one to goal, and you've got the other one who's going to choose that little moment of magic. So I think they probably edge the other two. But they have to be on the, they have to be involved in the squad. So
Yeah.
I think them two
Now
still-
listen, so we've now down our 1-3-5-2
Yeah.
with Nathan Ashmore, Tom Champion right side centre half, Dave Stevens central, Jamie Turley left side centre half, Kane Smith right wing back, Sorba Thomas left wing back, Mark Ricketts, Kieran Merchant and Andrew Balanta in midfield, Bruno Andrade and Cabs Tishamanga up top. That's pretty special. I've got to be honest. That's pretty special. So now, 5 subs. Grant Smith, very unfortunate to not make the number 1 spot. He goes in.
Yeah, he's nailed it. He's nailed it.
Then we was looking at, obviously, a toss-up between Turley and Wellesley, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Initially. Yeah. So then, Wellesley, you're in. So we've got a big centre half. For me, Ferrier and Marsh are nailed on.
Yeah, without doubt.
And imagine that with 55 on the clock, and you turn around and you go on, you two, get yourself ready, you're going on. The 5 are in them 4, oh my Lord. You'd win the FA Cup, wouldn't you?
Not win the World Cup.
Close. We'll go close, mate. Now, one more spot. I think we should share it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say between 2 personnel that has probably played the most amount of positions for Bournemouth Football Club, being Ricky Shakes and Danny Woodards. You look at Woody, right wing back, left side centre half, central centre half, right side centre half, and has been on the bench as the second goalkeeper.
He's very good.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable in goal. Then you look at Shakes, who's played right back, right wing, centre mid as a deep liner, offensive midfielder, and striker. When him and Bruno played up top against Lincoln and Dover, we scored 10 goals. And I think they scored a hat-trick and 2, then a 2 and a hat-trick. So I know it's unfair, but we're going to add another shirt, I believe, for Danny Woodards and Ricky Shakes. I think, for me, pal, great work. That's a good team, man. That's a good team. It'd be very interesting to see what other people think about it and see if they think that their team would beat ours on our day. But it has a blend, as a mix of everything, doesn't it?
I think that shows over the last 5 years being in the National League, the type of calibre of players that we've been fortunate enough to have at the football club. Some real good players missing out, not even being involved. Femi not even involved. So people like that will be thinking of a level. Be surprised not being in it. So yeah, no, I think that it just shows how far we've come as a club to have them types of players. So without doubt, a very, very good side.
Thank you for watching our National League 11. If you disagree or agree, please comment below.
Follow our social media, Instagram and Twitter.
And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.